All right, y'all. Today's math lesson 7.7. Okay, Go Math 7.7. You can look in your books. You can look, YouTube it, whatever you want. I put up some videos, the YouTube videos that were most helpful in the links. You have to watch one of them, this and one of them. Okay, that's what you got to do for today. I just want to show you what it's like. I don't know if you remember Box and Cluster, but it's very similar to Box and Cluster. Here's what I mean by that. Check it out. So if we go back to like old school Box and Cluster, type math, we've got 34 times, I don't know, what do you want to do? Times 57. Okay, 34 times 57. Remember when we did box and cluster, we would do the box. I'm sorry, there's a fly in my face. I'm using both my fingers, so I had to blow it away. And then we would do 34. We do 34. So we got our ones here, and our tens here, and we got to do the same thing. 57. We'll go, I don't know, green, I guess. 57. And then we did like, is there black? Why don't you have a black one? Whatever. I'll just go red. And we made the lines to separate the place values, the ones and the tens. Separate the ones and tens here, separate the ones and tens here. Then you just multiplied. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 7 is 28. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21. It's hard to write. I'm literally using the little mouse pad, so I'm just like I'm doing it with two fingers. Okay, and then you add them all up, right? 34 times 57. So I just add all these up in these boxes. I go 28. So I'm going over here. 28 plus 21. Just kind of going down the line here. 15. Scroll down. I can't scroll down. 8. 8 plus 1 plus 5. 8. 9 plus 5 is 14. I'll do the rest of my math over here since I can't. It's not letting me scroll down. 8 plus 1 is 9 plus another 5. That's going to go is 14. So I got my 4, and then I got to remember to carry that 1. Okay, and then I got 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, 2 plus another 2. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 84. Done. Okay. It is the same exact thing when we do mixed numbers. Like mixed numbers, I mean, not just regular fractions. Like there's 1/2, but there's also 3 1/2. That's a mixed number. 4 2/3 is a mixed number because you have 4 and just a little bit more, not a whole more, a little bit more. Okay. That's a mixed number. I know some of you are like, oh, I knew that already. Good. I'm glad you did. Let me see if I can, well, give us some more space here. Yeah, more space. Okay. So I'm going to give one example because I'm also going to do another one in Flipgrid. So right now I'm just going to give one example. Okay. 3 1/4 times 5 2/5. Okay. You set it up the same exact way. Okay. Okay, cool. I can scroll. 3 1/4 times 5 2/5. You set it up the same exact way that we would do a box and cluster. This is called an area model because you're creating like an area of how much you have. And this is if you had 3 1/4 yards, 3 1/4 yard long of a piece of land, and then 5 2/5 long of a piece of land. You want to figure out the area of that. Then you would do this. You would multiply them times each other. Okay. So we're going to pretend we have a piece of land or whatever, a rug, whatever, that's 3 1/4 yards long and 5 2/5 yards long or meters long. Doesn't really matter, whatever the length you want to call it, yards, meters, inches, whatever. And then we're just going to make the box out of it. And we're literally going to do what you're probably thinking. Wait, so does that mean that I put 3 here and 1/4 here? Yeah, that's exactly what you do. 3 here, 1/4 here. Oops, sorry, I kind of crossed the line there. And then 5 here. Yep. And 2/5 down here. That's exactly right. Like I said, it's the same exact thing as box and cluster. And box and cluster is an area model. It's actually called area model. I don't even know where I learned box and cluster from, but that's what I've called it. And we don't have to call it that. This is actually an area model. So here's how this goes. Boom. And I didn't really draw it to scale too much. I should have. I won't go into that, but this is exactly how you do it. So What's the easiest one to do here? Well, we know our fraction multiplications. We've been working on it a long time. Let's start there. Obviously, the easiest is going to be 3 times 5, right? I suppose we can start there. 3 times 5 is 15. Done. 15 holes. Yay! 1/4 times 2/5. Okay, if I were to set those next to each other, and I'll just do it right here, times 2/5. I should use a different color to not confuse you with that other stuff. I'll do that. 1/4 times 2/5. Let's go straight across. 1 times 2, 2. 4 times 5, 20. Okay. I could reduce that, but I might have to reduce. Yeah, let's just reduce it. Let's make it simpler. 2 and 20, they're both even. If I divide them both by 2, 2 divided by 2 is going to give me 1. 20 divided by 2 is going to give me 10. So I got 1/10. All right, that was easy enough. 1, so 1/4. Oops, I'm down here, sorry. 1/4 times 2/5, this is where they meet, is 1/10. This is where we put that one, because 1/4 goes to here, 2/5. That's how I know where to put that. Here, I'm going to put 1/4 times 5, okay? And we're multiplying. That's all we're doing. We're learning to multiply. So 1/4 times 5. How do I do that? Okay, let me grab a different color here. I'll do it over here. 1/4 times 5. And remember, whole numbers, you can also write over 1. So I'm just going to do 5 over 1 to confuse us less, because we know we can just multiply straight across. 1 times 5, 5. 4 times 1, 4. So I got 5/4, which is more than 1, because look at our numerator, it's huge. It's bigger than our denominator, I mean, not huge, but. Okay, so 5/4. 1/4 times 5, or times 5 over 1, is 5/4. Okay, let's go for our last color here. I don't know, let's do some sort of baby blue. That's not baby blue. Here's baby blue. Okay. 3 times 2/5. If you were like, wait a minute, you mean 3 over 1? Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. 3 over 1. 2/5 times 3 over 1. French for you. 2 times 3. Y'all know it. 2 times 3 is, I'm just going to put equals. I'm going to put it over here. 6. 5 times 1. Y'all know it. 5. Look at that's also greater than 1. Okay. Now for the tricky part. Scroll up a little bit here. You know how in our boxing cluster we added all these up? That's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to add these up. We got a bunch of fractions, though, that we got to add up. This is where it gets a little tricky, okay? This is where we have to find the common denominator, because we can't add unless we find a common denominator. Quick and easy way, just multiply the denominators times each other and multiply the numerators times those same numbers. For example, I'm going to add these all can go into 20, right? 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. 10 times 2 is 20. So I know I can do that, but I'm just going to add these two together first. So I know I have 15 and a little bit more. Let's go. 15. I don't even have to worry about that right now. I'm just going to add 6/5 and 5/4. Let's do a green. 6/5. 6/5 plus 5/4. Okay, in order to get this to be easy for me to add, I gotta find a common denominator. If I don't know one, I'll just multiply the denominators times each other. So 5, I'll multiply times 4, and 4, I'll multiply times 5. Okay, if I do it to the bottom, gotta do it to the top. If I do it to the bottom, gotta do it to the top. Like I said, let's multiply them by each other, and you'll get the same denominator. Every time you'll get it. Oh, that was an ugly 5. Whatever. So what are my two new fractions? What are my two new fractions? I'm adding these two together, okay? Two new fractions are 6 times 4 is 24 over 20 plus 5 times 5, 25 over 20. Okay, I'm going to add those, 25 and 24. You can put them on top of each other if you want, if that helps you. I know it off the top of my head, but you might not, and that's okay. That's why I'm the teacher, yo. 5 plus 4, 9. 2 plus 2, 4. 49. We got 49 here. Remember, when we're adding, we don't multiply. It's the same denominator. So I got 49 20ths. Cool. Now, I did these. I haven't done this guy yet. Need to do this guy right here. Oops, that was a bad circle. 1/10. 49 20ths. Let me get rid of my face here for a second. Plus 1/10. What can I change that 10 into? Can I get it to 20 without having to multiply it times 20? Yeah, 10 times 2 I know is 20. All right, 10 times 2, I can get it to 20. Then I don't have to mess with the other fraction. I just mess with this guy. Way less work for me. Man, think smarter, not harder. Don't or work smarter, not harder. Just use your noggin. Then I don't have to mess with this 49 20ths. All right, so my new fraction is going to be 2 20ths. Still keeping with the 49 20ths, so I can get rid of this guy. Cool. Now I got 2 20ths plus 49 20ths. This is 49, 50, 51 20ths. All right. Now, here's what's crazy about this. We need to change this 51 20ths into something. So we just did this. We're done with this. We're done with all this. We have 15 and 51 20ths. 51 20ths is obviously not correct. It's a improper fraction. Not a mixed number yet. We have to make it into a mixed number. How do we do that? Well, we're going to have to do a little bit of dividing. 51 20ths, if I 51, this actually means divide. 51 divided by 20. That's kind of what fractions are anyways. Long story, but just trust me. So 51 divided by 20, how many times does 20 go into 51? Well, 20 times 1 is 20. Can I get bigger than that? 20 times 2 is 40. Can I get bigger than that? Bigger than that? 20 times 3 is 60. Nope. So I got to do 20 times 2. And that gives me 20. Do my subtraction. 1 minus 0 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. Wait, did I do that right? What's wrong with me? 20 times 2 is 40. Why did I say 20? 20 times 2 is 40. 1 minus 0 is 1. 5 miness 4 is... Oh, I'm going to erase this so it doesn't confuse you. I'm sorry about that. 20 times 2 is 40. 5 minus 4 is 1. So now I have 11. Okay, 2 and 11... Remember, I'm just putting it over this. And 11 20ths. Okay? You literally just take your remainder and you put it on top of this guy. Okay, you put it on top of your divisor. Is what that's called. Okay, so 2 and 11 20ths. Take my remainder, because 20 can't go into 11. 11 is too small. 2 and 11 20ths, and then I have 15 still that I haven't done anything with. So 15 plus 2 and 11 20ths. Well, I don't know what 15 plus 11 20ths is, but I know 15 plus 2 is 17. So if I scroll, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. 15 plus 2 is 17. And all I have left is the 11 20ths. There's nothing I can do with it. Nothing goes into 11 and 20, so it's literally 17 and 11 20ths. For your Flipgrid, you make up your own problem and try it out a couple times to come up with something that you can do easier and quicker. I'm okay with that. Okay. As long as it's a mixed number times a mixed number. 2.5 times 3.5. 2 and 2/3 times 5 and 2/3. Whatever it is. Okay. You can make it easy on yourself. Obviously, that was the long way around that I took. You can make it challenging on yourself. You can make it all kind of crazy numbers. That's fine. Make sure you're doing the work right, and you're doing all the work. Okay. That is it. Go to Flipgrid. Or actually watch a video, watch another one of the videos, and then go to Flipgrid.